Hi guys, my name is Becca. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with another update on the Magical Orillium Academy Readathon. It's basically the end of the third week. Still technically have a couple of days, but I like to do these on Fridays because I'm off, my boyfriend works. Just makes things easier for me. Except for the fact that I think next Friday I am working, so I won't be able to do an update. I might, if I can maybe swing it, because I like to do these kind of earlier anyway, even though today I'm kind of running late. But I'll have to see. I'll see how I'm feeling next Friday if I want to do it before work. But honestly, when I'm working, I just don't want to do anything. Like, I just want to do, I want to read and I want to like get a couple of things done and then I want to go to work. I don't really want to film or anything like that when I'm actually working. I like to do these on my day off. So that's not happening. Who knows, I might just do a final update probably the end of, not this week coming, but the next week. Maybe. We'll see what I'm working, we'll see how I'm feeling. We'll just see how it goes. But I've read a lot, which is why I like to do these each week. And that's why I like having that final update, like just one more update to like close it all out. It's gonna be something, because I don't know how much I'm gonna be reading. But we'll see. Okay, so what's it called? Start everything off, the first book I finished was Stuck With You by Ellie Hazelwood. This is the second in the STEM Nest novellas that she's got. Basically they're all kind of grumpy sunshine. Well, not really grumpy sunshine. They're just like kind of hate to love romances. And this one, there are two engineers who meet, I don't even know how long it was. I want to say it was months before the present day, or I don't know, something like that. And they meet, they kind of, strike up conversation, they start to really like each other, everything is going great. And then you're in present day and they're stuck in an elevator together and they hate each other. Well, she hates him and you don't know why. And it's just a series of like flashback, well, every other chapter is in the past and months before this, and it tells you like it gives you more clues as to what's going on and to what happened. I liked it. I give it 4 stars. They're like 100 and something pages each. I don't know. They're good. I like that one more than Under One Roof, so that's good. Actually, the way it's going is I'm liking each one more than the other. So, next up we have Riven Knight by Devney Perry. Oh, Stuck With You, I can find it. It was 127 pages. I gave it 4 stars, and that was to, was one of the quests, like one of the side quests, to read a book with a morally great character. So, that one worked. Next up, we have Riven Knight by Devney Perry. This is the second in the Tin Gypsy series, and I like this one. This one follows Isaiah and Genevieve, who you meet in the first book. And it still kind of follows the mystery of what happened in the first book. There was a murder that happened in the first one. You don't know who killed her, but you do know that Draven, who's basically the leader of the Tin Gypsies, is being framed for it, and you're just trying to figure out who actually killed her and what's going on. So this one still follows that mystery of what happened, but it follows Isaiah and Genevieve, where the first book followed Bryce and Dash. I enjoyed Bryce and Dash more than Isaiah and Genevieve, but still, I really enjoyed this book. I'm enjoying the series, not as much as the Eden series by Devney Perry, but still, it's enjoyable. It's an MC romance, though their Motorcycle Club has disbanded. They're just working out of the garage now, rebuilding like motorcycles and stuff like that. But yeah, so this one was good. You learn more about Isaiah. He has a past. In the first book, you meet him. He's basically just moved to town. You don't know anything about him. He doesn't talk, really. And in this one, you get to learn so much more about him. You basically learn everything that happened. But at the end of book 1, Genevieve and Isaiah went away for a little bit. You don't know what happened. I don't want to spoil like towards the end, but something happened with everybody, and Genevieve and Isaiah went missing for a little bit. And when they return, they're getting married. And you don't know why. Until you learn about it later on. And it's really good. I did really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. That one, what did that one do? That one was Art of Illusion. Was for the first prompt. So I gave that 4 stars. That was 394 pages. And basically, yeah, that was just for the first Art of Illusion prompt, which I didn't need any of the Art of Illusion prompts, but wanted to do them anyway, because I like the prompts. Alright, next up we have Below Zero by Ali Hazelwood. This is the 3rd, and I'm guessing final STEMness novella. This one follows 2 people who work with NASA, and they're... I don't even know what's going on. I can't really even explain it. Our main character has like a project she wants to do somewhere where it's like in Norway, or in February, where it's really bad, like in a part of Norway that you really should not be there during that time. It's very, very dangerous, and she's adamant about going. Again, though, this is one where they meet, they kind of fall for each other, everything is going really well, and then later on, like, I don't know if it's years later, I think for this one, something happened, and she hates him, and you don't know why. But I really enjoyed this one more than the other 2. I gave it, again, 4 stars, but that one I think is my favorite one. And that one, so I did for Spells and Incantations, the first prompt, which was the random color wheel, which was blue. That one was mostly blue. I had Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score there, but I figured might as well just put this one there just in case I don't get to Things We Never Got Over, because right now I still haven't started it, and I'm supposed to be 14 chapters into it. It's not happening. But yeah, it's 139 pages. I gave it 4 stars, and that, at least for the first prompt of Spells and Incantations, for the first, or for one class, and then for the other class I have to do the same prompt but with a different book. So that took care of that. Then I read Treasure of the Abyss by Tiffany Roberts, which is a Kraken series. Kraken romance series, and we basically follow Macy, who gets she's on a boat with her boyfriend, and it goes overboard, and she is basically drowning, and she gets saved by a Kraken, who the Krakens were made by humans, and basically they all hate humans. They think humans are out to get them, and they want nothing to do with humans. But this Kraken is basically a wanderer. He isn't really with the group, and so when he finds Macy, he hides her away, and he doesn't tell his people about her. And yeah, it gets steamy. It gets really steamy. I did enjoy this one. I gave it 3 stars. Yeah, it was fine. Like, honestly, it reminded me a lot of Ice Planet Barbarians, but I think Ice Planet Barbarians did it better. This one was a Kraken romance. There's some tentacle, scenes, and I really did, I thought it was okay. Like, I enjoyed it a little bit. It wasn't like the greatest written thing. It wasn't honestly the greatest book I've ever read, but I'm kind of thinking I might continue with the series, at least for the next book, because the next book follows Macy's best friend Amy and his best friend Archon. So another human Kraken romance. They're all going to be human Kraken romances because, of course, the Krakens can barely have females. And, of course, the females can barely reproduce. Like, it's very difficult for them. Of course. So, of course, the humans can breed with the Krakens. Yeah. So, if you're not into breeding or basically accidental pregnancy tropes, don't read that. But if you want a monster romance with a little tentacle scenes, just try it. I still think Ice Planet Barbarians, because I mean, it's not the same because they're just blue aliens with horns, and this is Krakens with tentacles. But basically, they just feel the same. If you really think about it, there's just some things that are similar. But I liked it. I gave it 3 stars, and that took care of restoration for the third prompt, which is to read a book in 1 to 2 sittings. I did not know it was 355 pages. I really thought it was going to be like a really short novella, but it was fine. I still read it in like 2 sittings. But yeah, it was 355 pages. That took care of that prompt. And I'll let you know. So, well, we'll finish up the last 2 books that I finished, and then I'll tell you how I'm doing with that before I go into the current reads. So I did read Eyes on Me by Sarah Kate. I had to read this with a drink. I took a sip of water when I started this. That was basically it. Yeah, this one follows Garrett, who, he is one of the owners of the Salacious Players Club. This is a sequel to Praise, just in case you didn't know. And this is his romance with his stepsister, who is a call girl. Well, yes, a cam girl. Sorry, not a call girl, a cam girl. Yeah. It was good. It was so good. I gave this 5 stars. I don't know. Did I love this more than Praise? Maybe. Garrett's kink is voyeurism. And really her kink is basically exhibitionism. It works perfectly for the 2 of them. Oh my god. He never knew she was a cam girl. She never knew he worked for a sex club, or he owned a sex club. And then one day he's just scrolling through websites and he finds her. Things just get steamy, okay? I really loved that book. That was a 5-star book. And yeah, that took care of the first prompt for elemental studies that I needed for my Moon Warden quest. Yeah, it was 324 pages. And then the last book I finished was Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. This is a pirate romance. It's a dark romance. Did not know that it's a poly romance. I went into this book thinking, okay, it's just a dark pirate steamy romance. Okay, cool. This is good. And then I'm like, oh, so it's basically, is this a love triangle? Because there's 2 men that she's falling for. Shit, is this really going to be like what everyone considers a love triangle, but not a true love triangle? Because a true love triangle would be a poly relationship. It'd be, well, kind of a poly. It'd be a basic poly. 1 girl, 2 men, and everybody is, you know, with each other. Everybody, right? But basically, what everyone deems a love triangle is 1 girl who's in love with 2 guys. The 2 guys are in love with her, but that's it. The guys don't like each other like that. And then she has to choose between one of them. I don't like those love triangles, but I do like the poly love triangle. So yeah, this one, So I'm like, great. So it's a love triangle. I'm not really into love triangles, but we'll see. Like, I'm liking both guys. And then I look up reviews because I'm getting like really annoyed. I'm like, is this a love triangle? What's gonna happen? And the reviews are saying that it's a reverse harem. Now I do know that what's going around TikTok and in the book community right now is reverse harem is a term that's offensive now. I did not know that. I am learning this now. I haven't actually seen much on it, but I have seen some on where people are saying it's offensive. So, or people are saying that they're learning that it's offensive. And I think now the term is why choose, which is a good term. And that's fine. Like, we'll call it why choose from now on. But to me, what used to be an RH, a why choose, is one woman and however many men or women that, by the way, also love triangle is not just, it could be, it's just one person and then two other people vying for her or him, you know what I mean? And then an RH or a why choose to me is a woman and a bunch of men or women trying or being with her, but not with each other. A poly relationship to me is a man or a woman with multiple men or women, and they're all together. Basically, it's not like an orgy, but you know, they're all together. Like it's triad, or it's, you know, multiple love interests, and they're all together. And that's what I like. The poly relationship is my favorite. And then I found out that this is what it is. It's not a white shoes, at least in my eyes. It's not like, it's a true love triangle. It's not a love triangle that everybody else deems a love triangle. Yes, this is perfect. This is perfect. It is a dark romance, so there are trigger warnings, so beware of that. There are trigger warnings for rape, attempted rape, murder, suicide, gosh, there's so much. Stabbing. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot. So just beware of that before going in. But yeah. I gave that 4 stars. And that took care of Elemental Studies, the C setting prompt. And I can't tell you how many pages that is because I didn't. That was 482 pages. Cool. Yes. But yeah, that was 4 stars. So that took care of all the books that I have read so far. So far, what I've done, I have finished my exams for alchemy, animal studies, art of illusion, astronomy, and restoration. No, I haven't finished restoration. I have for one, well, I've technically finished spells and incantations, at least for what I wanted it to be. For one calling than the other. But yeah, for both callings, I finished alchemy, animal studies, art of illusion, and astronomy. So I'm still working on elemental studies. I have 1 book left to read for that, which is Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold, which I think is another poly romance, or it's a white choose. It might be a white choose. That one I technically don't have to read because I don't need it for my callings, but I want to read it, because to me, I can't add Sea of Ruin for C setting if I don't read Faking with Benefits. So I'm going to try and read that. Hopefully it'll be a quicker one. I think it is like over 500 pages, but it's still, if it's a steamy, like why choose romance, then I'm good. I still have yet to read or finish Archer's Voice, which is spells and incantations, the prompt for that, which is like random color wheel. I did I did finish it for one of my callings, but I need it for both of my callings. So I have started Archer's Voice, though, by Mia Sheridan. I am about 30 pages into this, like 4 chapters in. I'm loving this so far. So yeah, this is so good. I'm only 30 pages in, but I am fully like in love with this book. I could have read more, but my boyfriend wanted to go to sleep. So that meant I couldn't read, at least physically. For restoration, I don't think I mentioned this, but I did DNF a book this week. So I basically DNF'd a book every week, which it happens. But I DNF'd Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I do with my, what's it called? With my tier, like what tier I'm in right now, with my point system, I am able to DNF a couple of books and have them count for the prompt, which is funny because the 2 books that I've DNF'd basically are The Serpent King and Beartown, and they're both for the same prompt, but for 2 different callings. They're both blue, but yeah, they're both for the oldest book on my TBR prompt. So for Moon Warden and Beastmaster, I've DNF'd both of them. I think I got 102 pages into this. I was listening to it, and then I got about like 50 pages into this. I just wasn't enjoying either of them, but for this one, because I've already talked about the Serpent King, this one, there's so many characters. You're following this whole town called Beartown, and it's a hockey town, and it's just way too many characters. You know something happened. Basically, you just know like something's about to happen because a teenager picks up a shotgun, walks into the forest, puts the gun to someone's head, and pulls the trigger. That's the first chapter. Like, that's the first paragraph. And then it's like, this is the story of how we got there. So, like, okay, great. But we're following so many different characters. I can't, honestly, I can't figure out why I'm supposed to care about any of them. And a lot of them are high schoolers, and then because they're hockey players, they get away with everything. And now it's like, are they going to get away with, because, you know, this is about a book. This is a book about a girl who gets raped by a hockey player. Don't know which hockey player, though I definitely figured out who it was pretty early on. I had a feeling. I also skimmed a little bit of it to see if I would actually care about any of these people. I just felt like I was getting more and more and more characters throughout the book. That I was just like, who is this? Who are these people? Why am I supposed to care about so many people? Like, a couple families, fine. But there's just so many. And then it just, like, goes between so many different perspectives without, like, truly changing perspectives. I don't like that. Like, you know, even in the first one, we get, we get Peter, who's, like, the GM of the hockey team. We get Kevin, who's a player. We get Benji, who's a player. We get Amit, who's a player. We get Maya, who's Peter's daughter. We have Anna, who's Maya's best friend. We have, my God, Bobo, whatever the hell his name is. We have Kira, who's Peter's wife. We have Soon, who's, like, the owner of the hockey, or whatever. Like, oh my God. So many people. I don't care. I'd probably care more if it was a TV show or a movie. I think it is going to become one. And if it is, cool, I might watch it. I might not. It's the same thing I feel like Biggest Lies. Big Little Lies, that's it. I still go back and forth whether or not I'm actually going to watch that. So we'll see how that goes. But that finished up my restoration. No, it did not, because I still have yet to read Kate in Waiting by Vicky Albertelli. This one will finish up restoration for one calling is down. Restoration for the other one is not. So I still have to read this. I do have it on audiobook, so I am going to listen to this next week. But I am currently listening to Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. which is a horror book, and it's a book I'm reading for my horror book club. I am 167 pages into this. I'm loving this. This is creepy. This is so creepy, and I'm enjoying everything about it. I need to finish the book. So I'm probably going to try and finish it this weekend, because basically next week, so I'm not able to meet for the meetings for these book clubs, which really hurts, but I am at least part of the Discord, so I can talk about my thoughts for it. But basically the meeting for this is every Tuesday night, and then the meeting for the actual BDA book club, which right now we're supposed to be reading Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, and I haven't started that, but that's every Thursday night, and I practically work every Tuesday and Thursday night, so I'm not able to meet for the meetings, but it's fine. I'm still like really happy that I'm reading this, that I'm enjoying it. I don't think I would have picked it up anytime soon. I had never even heard about it until they announced that this is the book we were reading, and then I looked into it and I was like, oh my god, that sounds amazing, I'm gonna read that. So I'm really happy that I found this book and that I'm reading it, because it's fantastic and it's really creepy and it's exactly what I need. I just hope it ends really well, because that's what I want. So once that's finished, I'll go into Kate in Waiting. So yeah, basically for the books that I for sure have to finish, we have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This has to get finished, which will for sure, no doubt. I have like 12 days I can finish that. And then Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertelli. This for sure has to get finished. So these two books are the ones that I have to read. Okay? That's for my callings. That's so I can finish it all up and be good. And yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. Faking with Benefits is the last book I need to read. That isn't for my calling, but it's still part of the exams. Okay, so I would love to get that finished. If I don't get it finished, it's not that big of a deal in terms of like the callings and everything, but I would very much like to get that done. So then, other than that, it's just side quests. Now, I'm trying to at least get 50 points. So you get 50 points when you finish a semester, and then you get to count the quests. Each side quest is like 10 points. So I'm trying to at least get 50 points in side quests so that I can jump another 100 points, right? So far I have 2 books down, so I just need to finish 3, okay? Hidden Pictures is one of them. That is a buddy read. Perfect. But the other one is Twice Shy by Sarah Hoggle. This is for Shrubbery on the cover, and this is really short, so I think I could definitely finish that, no problem. And then lastly is My Killer Vacation, for the author name starting with the B/F, Tessa Bailey. Perfect. That's relatively short. That's like less than 300 pages, so I can get everything done. Okay, I'm thinking I could definitely get everything done. Lastly, one final thing, okay, is the Clifton Forge series by Daphne Perry. I am currently reading Stone Princess. I have until the end of August to read this entire series, and then it leaves Kindle Unlimited, which I don't want it to do. I was so hoping it would stay till September, but it's not. So I'm halfway through this book. I literally just started it last night because I needed to read something since I couldn't read Archer's Voice. And yeah, so I started this book. I am enjoying it. This one's following Presley and this movie star named Shaw. I am enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish that this weekend. So the books that I'm like planning on finishing this weekend is Stone Princess, Archer's Voice, and Hidden Pictures. And then starting next week, I'll read like Kate in Waiting for my audiobook, Twice Shy for my physical book, and then probably My Killer Vacation for my ebook at that time, and then we'll go into Faking with Benefits, maybe. Or I'll switch those two because I might have to. we'll see how that goes. And then, well, hopefully I'll be able to maybe get through one more Clifton Forge book by the end of August. I would love to get through all of them, but I can't. So that's a problem. And I don't have them physically, or I would have been fine. Honestly, I would love to. I might end up just buying them physically, at least like the last few books. I might just end up buying them physically, so that way I could read them. But I also have another series by Daphne Perry that I want to read, that I'm starting to buy physically. So, oops, sorry, I hit that thing. So yeah, that's it. That's everything. I told you I read a lot. I'm still reading a lot. It's just a lot. I also need to start Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I don't know when I'm going to start that. I honestly just don't know. I have to read like 27 chapters before next week, which is doable for me if I wasn't currently reading so much. I might have to just like read Things We Never Got Over. What's it called? Like the final week or something. And I could do that because I think we're going to be continuing reading it in September. So I might just start that in September and not worry about that right now. But we'll see. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that this is a longer one, but you can't help it. It's just why like wrap-ups are going to be extremely long. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again with another video. Bye, and happy reading.